Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Driven Wild. Today we are talking about this is absolutely ridiculous. Doordash customer claims she received a letter from driver complaining about her 30% tip. You know, it wouldn't be the first time where people have left notes on customers' orders and stuff like that. That being said, that looks like a typed out letter in multiple languages. So this person really put in the effort to make this thing. He's probably leaving it for a lot of people, not just you. So with that said, I actually want to go over what is actually being said in this article, how it actually is for gig workers and customers, and everything in between. So with that said, let's get started. A DoorDash customer recently went viral on TikTok after blasting her driver for leaving a note criticizing the amount she left for a tip. Again, low tip orders and no tip orders should not be accepted to begin with. That being said, they did state in the headliner that's 30%. That's probably because it's a smaller order, so therefore it's probably going to be a smaller tip. But that being said, that probably shouldn't end up on DoorDash to begin with. TikToker Katrinasoldit at Katrinasoldit shows a photo of a single sheet of paper that appears to have been printed for mass decimation by the DoorDash driver who encounters folks who don't tip them as much as they would like. The note states that anytime someone orders food delivery, they should tip a minimum of $10 in gratuity, regardless of distance they are traveling. I don't know about that, actually speaking. $10 gratuity does seem like a lot, realistically speaking. So basically what he's trying to do is say it should be $10 gratuity on top of the base pay. Those type of orders are not as frequent as people make them sound to be. A $10 gratuity under my standards would actually mean that's a 20% tip, which means you're paying $50 an order, making it $60, and that's not even accounting for any of the delivery fees. That's a lot. Like, I feel like that's setting a very high expectation for customers. Like I said, it's $5 or 20%, whichever is higher. Is that always enough? No. But at the same time, you can't tell people to tip $10 regardless. That's ridiculous. Daughtry adds that the gave the driver a 30% tip, $5.50, on the cost of her meal from an eatery only 2 miles from her home. Okay, so she tipped the way she should have. Again, some people just aren't willing to do orders for that price point just because $5.50 plus the $2.50 for base pay, that would be $8.05. Some people just aren't willing to do $8 orders. Honestly, I don't even think her tip was that bad. It seemed pretty solid. You'll probably get a decent driver for that. Unfortunately, this time you just got a crappy driver. So this letter was attached to my meal that I ordered on DoorDash last night. Daughtry starts the clip before elaborating on the contents of the letter. Basically, this letter is saying that all delivery expect a minimum of $10, whether it's 1 mile or 10 miles. She said, I think this is absolutely ridiculous, and I didn't even complain to DoorDash because it just made me laugh. Honestly, that's a lot to expect from a customer. I think it's ridiculous too, so don't think that's every single driver. Now, that being said, if the order itself constitutes for a $10 tip, like let's say it's more than a $50 order, that actually makes sense. But that being said, that's not happening here. This is a customer who's ordering a meal for herself, not for anybody else, and she's literally just tipping $5.55. That's not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. The TikToker notes that she used to drive for DoorDash and she never expected a $10 tip. She continued, "Yes, I was grateful if I got a $3 tip. Anyways, I'm gonna leave this letter for you guys to read for yourself, and why don't you tell me what you think? Am I an a-hole in this situation?" Okay, so a couple things on this note. If you're not expecting quality orders, it probably means you're not in the large order program or the pizza program, meaning that you're probably not getting those quality orders to begin with. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll leave a video talking all about that in the description. Feel free to check it out. Second, and probably more important, if you're not even expecting a $3 tip, it probably means you're accepting 100% of the orders that you're receiving. You're probably thinking that Top Dasher is the way to go, even though it's really not. You're probably losing money instead of actually making profit. That's a big L on you, and honestly, I really hope that if you ever do go back to DoorDash, you end kind of fixing that for yourself. Most gig workers have a 20% acceptance rate because most orders just aren't that good. The TikToker then shows the letter, which titled, "Tipping the Delivery Drivers." Another line in the bold underneath reads, "The driver is not getting paid for any of the time that they are standing waiting for your order." The text is also presented in Spanish below as well. Okay, so this guy really took the time to type out this letter and make this whole presentation on the subject. Honestly, I wouldn't even bother with something like this. I just don't serve those customers, because here's the reality. Even if you do manage to sway people in the concept that they should be tipping more, now you're just making people reluctantly tip, which means there are going to be customers who wouldn't ordinarily tip to start tipping, and those people typically are the ones finding everything wrong with every driver, making TikToks about how terrible DoorDash drivers are, and overall causing problems for the community, including deactivations and poor ratings, and contract violations for saying food never arrived or something stupid like that, which is nonsense. So honestly, it's better off to leave no tipping customers out of the picture entirely. If they don't want to tip, they shouldn't be receiving an order. That simple. Throngs of viewers urged her to alter the tip to 0 after receiving the note. Others noted Daughtry tipped more than the standard 20%. On DoorDash, you do not have the opportunity to drop the tip. Let's just be clear about that right now. She did fine. There's nothing wrong with what she did. So they get around 5 orders an hour and get the flat rate pay depending on the area. It's different, and want to tip $10, like that's 50 plus an hour, one user argued. Okay, so there's a lot of misconceptions in that entire statement. So let's go through it one by one. First problem is that you're assuming that we get 5 orders an hour. We're able to complete 2.5, maybe 3 orders an hour. If we're really lucky, we're able to get 4 done. That's including time from where you receive the order to the restaurant, time waiting for the order in some cases, time to actually bring it to you, the customer, and then the time in between waiting for orders. That's first of all. Second of all, we're not paid for our time. We're paid for the work we actually do. Bold of you to assume that we're getting paid 50 an hour, even close to that. Like, even in the best areas, like, you're very lucky to receive 25, 30 an hour consistently. And third, probably more importantly than any of that, who are you to be upset about what people get tipped and what people don't get tipped? Like, who are you? But in all fairness, telling customers that they expect a $10 tip no matter what is kind of ridiculous. Receiving a $10 order, on the other hand, from the order you receive with a combination of what DoorDash pays and what the customer pays, yeah, I actually do expect a $10 order, not $10 tip from you. So tip 33% and they're mad, another said. I am personally not mad. She did everything she could. I just think that this driver is trying to push an agenda that shouldn't be out there right now. Some pointed out parts of the letter that they thought were ridiculous, like the mention of Delivery Drivers Association. While the Daily Dot was not able to confirm the existence of this organization, some delivery drivers have begun organizing through organizations like Justice for App Workers. I have never heard of Delivery Drivers Association. I think people are attempting to unionize when there really isn't any way to unionize. I'm not really sure if that's a good idea overall. Also, Justice for App Workers is an organization attempting to unionize DoorDash and Grubhub drivers as well as app workers in general, but at the same time, I sincerely doubt that's gonna end up working in the long term. And they're based in Chicago, so it's probably not gonna happen. What he spent in paper and ink to print those and give them out probably cost more than the tip, one viewer stated. I don't know if it costs more than the tip, but that being said, it is a lot. I would rather wait patiently for quality customers than to try to influence customers into tipping more. He's giving that to everyone he delivers to, I'm sure, but you should let DoorDash know, another added. Yeah, that's probably something that he's sending out to everybody. That's probably not a personal thing. Why was I expecting a handwritten note and not a legal document? A third shared. I wouldn't go as far as saying it's a legal document, but that being said, it is certainly something that this person seemed to have committed a lot of time, energy, and resources into. Others said the DoorDash driver could have elected to not take the order and instead waited out for one with a $10 tip. One popular TikTok creator and delivery driver, Gig Doctor, frequently promotes this method for drivers to make more money. I actually made a video talking about his latest exploit on him actually talking about only accepting $10 orders. I will leave that in the description. Feel free to check it out. If he wanted a $10 tip, why did he choose to deliver your order one viewer wrote? Yeah, again, you gotta actually just wait out those orders and then accept quality orders that make sense. Personally, I say $9, $10, depending on distance. But that being said, it really depends on your situation and what you are willing to do as a gig worker. If they don't like the compensation, find another job, another commented. Okay, the attitude extenuated from this particular comment, to me, that gives off an energy of an ungrateful customer, probably doesn't tip much to begin with, and overall just has a problem with everybody and not just for people who are in the gig economy. I'm talking waiters, waitresses, anybody in the service industry, retail, doesn't matter. They're just going to be condescending to everybody. A number of DoorDash drivers have complained about the lack of tips on social media in the past. Some claim they have fallen victim to tip baiting practices, where customers have lied about giving them a tip in order to have meals delivered to them faster, only to take back the tips they promised once the order is received. Okay, that practice is actually not possible on DoorDash specifically. It is only possible on UberEats and Instacart to my knowledge, and really those two corporations really need to stop them from doing that, because it's only leading to a toxic environment for not only gig workers but for customers as well. This is my opinion. It's worth what you pay for it. None of you pay me. There you go. Honestly, I think that this person, while he was trying to push out a message, is doing it in the wrong way, in my opinion. You don't print out something trying to influence bad tipping customers into tipping better. You're just supposed to be taking quality customers that tip right. And she didn't even tip wrong. She actually tipped solid. If you don't like the quality of her tip, don't take the order. That's why movements like no tip, no trip are in effect to begin with. It's not even because of the company. Yes, the company should be paying us better. But if a customer isn't willing to tip at all, that just proves the integrity and character of the customer is not somebody you want to serve to begin with. Also, this note seems like it's not even a personal attack on her. It seems like it's more of a notice for everybody. You would probably gain more traction on this through TikToks, Reels, and other mediums of that sort, rather than working on a piece of paper and wasting those kind of resources. There's a guy on TikTok that literally just shows no tip orders and just shows it that way. That guy goes viral all the time. DoorDash tips 2 or 3 or something like that. That's more effective than this. Overall, you're probably just better off just taking quality orders with quality customers. Not only income is right, but your account stays safe from bad customers. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. As always, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace!